So today we're in Nazareth, the largest Arab city in Israel, with Christians living here, Muslims living here, and I have a very special guest, Yoseph Haddad. So Yoseph, you are an Israeli Arab Christian. You fought in the Second Lebanon War and you almost paid with your life for this country, and today you are a disabled IDF veteran.
Yep.
Why did you join the IDF in the first place? Because to many people it might look strange to see an Arab serving in Israel's army.
Hananya, I have to be honest with you, and correct me if I'm wrong. IDF stands for Israeli Defense Force, not a JDF, not a Jewish Defense Force. And I'm an Israeli as well, and this is my country, and this is my city. I was born and raised here, and when I'm fighting for my country and for my society, I'm fighting both for Arabs and the Jews. I think the best example is when I was in the war in Lebanon. On my city, rockets fell down, and babies were killed, and dozens
Arab
were
babies.
injured. Arab babies here in my city, and dozens were injured as well. I joined the army in November 2003. Terrorism doesn't really care if you're an Arab or you're a Jewish. As long as you're Israeli, you are a target for terrorism.
So you fought in Lebanon.
Yeah.
And you were severely injured.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Before I tell you my personal story, I have to share you one more thing with you about Lebanon.
Yeah.
A lot of friends as well asked me, how do you feel as an Arab to go and fight in Lebanon, an Arab country,
Yeah.
fighting an Arab people? And I said, I'm not fighting an Arab civilians. I'm fighting a terrorist organization, Hezbollah terrorist organization. But, and here's the most amazing thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we entered Lebanon, we went to this shelter. When you go into a Lebanese house, right?
Yeah.
We enter a house, right? We take control of this house. Now the immediate reaction should be, we hate you, what are you doing? When we enter this house,
You Israeli soldiers entering
Israeli
Lebanese
soldiers,
homes.
and they understood that I speak Arabic, obviously, we spoke with them Arabic. The father of the house came to me and he said, please, do whatever you can to demolish Hezbollah.
Seriously.
I knew that. I knew that they are terrorizing them as well because they are putting rockets in their houses. They're using their kids as human
Shield, yeah. So what happened inside of Lebanon that got you almost killed?
We were in Binjbel.
Okay.
In a house in Binjbel.
Yeah.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, we heard a huge explosion, not far from us. We understood that it was an anti-tank missile that was launched towards one of our tanks. We got an immediate call. We were the closest unit to this accident, and we had to go and evacuate the injured
Soldiers, yeah.
in the tank. We managed to rescue all the wounded soldiers back to the chopper and from there to Israel. Unfortunately, we found ourselves going back to the shelter at 7 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, Hezbollah again knew that we are coming. They anticipated us. They knew that we did this rescue mission. And just about, I think, 300, 400 meters before we were supposed to arrive, Hezbollah decided to shoot the same rocket, the same anti-tank missile, or the Coronate missile. They decided to shoot it at me.
Wow.
I was very lucky that it didn't really hit me, otherwise I would be in 1,000 pieces. It just bypassed me and hit a wall that was very close to me. And from that explosion, I flew in the air and I landed on my belly. I understood that I was injured, okay?
What were you
I felt
thinking in
it.
these moments?
My first thought, so I'm lying in Binjbel, blood coming from all over my body.
Huh.
My first thought was, oh my God, what I'm going to tell my mom. And I'm imagining her, I told you not to get injured. That was the first thought. Now, when I turned on my back, I tried to get up. I understood that my foot was cut off. So what do you do when you realize that your foot was cut off? You start shouting, my foot was cut off! My foot was cut off! That's what you do. My friends, my commanders, everybody came and they started, giving me the first treatment. They took me to another house that was very close to the accident. And I remember one specific moment where I was lying on stretcher, suffocating from my own blood. And then I hear the doctor, and I hear him saying on the communication, he says, so the deal is very simple. It's either you come and rescue him within the next 30, maximum 45 minutes, and he will survive and everything will be okay. Or you can come afternoon with a tank ambulance and take his body. Obviously, a few moments later, I understood that they are evacuating me to a chopper. It was like a literally huge relief. And even while I'm on a stretcher being, evacuated to a chopper, Hezbollah would keep shooting at us, RPGs, bullets, whatever you
Seriously?
want. And you must understand, they rescued me while they're risking their lives.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is a moment to talk about the relationship between the Israeli Arabs and the Israeli Jews.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't really know exactly what's going on here. The majority, the absolute majority of both society live amazing together. It's the extremists on both sides that they give this image, the wrong image about our Israeli society. I was a commander.
In the Golani
In
Brigade.
the Golani Brigade. I was a commander. I was a commander on Jewish soldiers, as an Arab. And my Jewish friends rescued their lives to save my life.
I mean, so your foot was cut off, and so what? In the hospital, they basically put it back, or what?
So when I arrived to the hospital,
Okay.
I was still, in conscience. I knew exactly what's happening. I remember the doctor come to me and he said, what's your name? I said, Yosef. I said, okay, Yosef, we need to tell your parents, what's your father's phone number? I said,
Wow.
No, you don't talk with my father. I talk with my father. I said, listen, you cannot move. I'll dial, you talk.
Okay.
So I remember literally he's putting the phone on my ears and he says, and then I heard my father's voice and I said it like in my last power, I think. I said, Dad, I'm injured, but I'm okay. So I didn't want him, to be scared, and obviously not to talk about my mom. Huh?
Yeah.
So, and literally, I think 1 second, 2 seconds after I spoke with my father, I literally don't remember anything.
When did you wake up?
I woke up a few days later.
Wow.
After a few surgeries all over my body. I had a huge cut here from a shrapnel that cut my face. One of my friends, they described it as I could have put a full fist in your face.
Wow. Fit a fist inside the wound that you had?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the description that he told me once he came to the hospital to visit me. And as for my foot, I remember waking up after a few days and I remembered everything. So I'm lying on the bed, right? And I'm thinking, do I have a foot or what? And then I meet and I see my foot. I said, I have a foot. Awesome. But it was attached with a strange, huge metal stuff that was
a
around
metal
my,
thing,
yeah, metal thing that was like with pins and everything attaching my foot to my leg. It was crazy, but I didn't care. I was so happy that I still got my foot.
Do you have like post-trauma from this incident?
There is the physical injury and there is the mental injury. This is something that will stay with you forever because each time when you hear a huge explosion and it's not from a rocket, you think it's a rocket. Even if doors, when you shut the door strongly, you would go in a sort of a state of mind of a war. I think I stayed alive to talk about what happened and to share my story and to tell the truth about what really happened in Lebanon and to the real heroes, which is my friends who died while they were saving and defending our country. But you know what? A lot of them died not because of the battle. They died because it took us time to rescue them because of the situation. And when we came to rescue them, you should have seen that. They said, don't treat me. Treat first my friend.
Seriously.
Like, imagine this. He's badly injured. You come and try to help him, to give him the first treatment. I said, leave me. Take care first of my friend. This is, in my eyes, what hero is.
To me as an Israeli and to the viewers, you are also a hero for fighting there, defending your country, and today you also fight BDS, you fight anti-Israel activists.
Our mission is to say the truth and show the facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple. Now, when I say the truth and show the facts, it's the whole truth. I'm not saying that we are perfect. We are far from being perfect.
True.
But the way they talk about our society, our country, it's also far from being the truth.
Thank you so much for sharing this story with us, with the world. I think that it's really important to share this with other people, because this is the true display of the reality in Israel, and people need to hear this.
And to see the true reality, very simple. Come and visit this amazing city.
It's incredible.
You would see exactly the reality where the Israeli society, both Arabs and Jewish, living together in a daily basis. And this is amazing. I invite you for good hummus and knafi. Come.